Hey, thanks very much. This might be a little low tier. I don't know if my premise is right, but as I understand, the certain Orthodox churches will not recognize the baptism of other Orthodox churches. And I'm not so much looking to debate as more just ask a curious question about that. And how does that work? I am Roman Catholic. To me, that does point towards the need of some sort of mechanism to, establish the validity of baptism. And so
not at all, because again, what Roman Catholics can never conceive of is that many of these things in the Orthodox Church are settled at the local level, because Orthodoxy is literally only a local church. I mean, it's throughout the world, but it's a local decentralized church. So we don't have to have one way to receive converts when it can depend upon the situation case by case.
Okay. Well, in terms of willing the good of your brethren, it's kind of just mutually accepted that they may be doing something different over there, but that's not a concern to other members.
Yeah, so we don't have the legalistic mindset of the entire Latin Roman Catholic Church that there's only one answer to a lot of things in life that can be complex. That's why we don't have this absurd casuistry that there is no divorce, but there's annulment, which is basically Roman Catholic divorce. So you have all these casuistry ways of getting around that. It's just more honest, I think, with recognizing that people's situations differ, and you can't have a simple, universal, legal, binding answer for everything else. We're not Pharisees, and Roman Catholics are Talmudic.
Got it. So that makes sense, and I'm tracking. It does seem like those worlds would combine, or at times. I'm traveling. I'm a traveling Orthodox brethren. So when you're saying it's handled at the local level, if I'm distributing communion, is there any concern for those who are not baptized, or is that solely
what are you talking about? You're an Orthodox brother distributing communion. I don't understand what you're talking about.
No. I'm just talking about brothers under the Orthodox umbrella. I'm traveling to a different Orthodox church.
Every Orthodox church I've ever been to says in the liturgy, only baptized Orthodox Christians can receive communion.
Right, and so I'm trying to ask how does someone in the Orthodox Church discern whether they should themselves have communion at another Orthodox church?
Anyone can commune in a canonical Orthodox church,
whether their baptism is acknowledged or not.
If they've been received into the church, you can commune anywhere.
Okay.
They don't. You're not. We don't necessarily nobody's going to do a background check to see.
Right.
So hold on. So we've got. So hold on.
At the pearly gates, right?
Hold on. Catholic Aquintic. Your church dresses like Pharisees. Are you too stupid to know that in the Catholic Church the Uniates also dress the same way? And to DM that keeps posting and spamming the Petrine nonsense, if you don't come debate, you're just going to get booted. So either come and debate or get out of here. Nobody cares about your low tier stuff. I'm sorry, go ahead. Back to you.
Yeah, so just the idea to me is that it's, at least the way I see it, it's sinful for an unbaptized person to receive the Eucharist. And if either the church holds that the Orthodox person in their parish, I don't know if you call it that. Forgive me.
So the fact that some people have a stricter stance on this, they have the reasons for doing that, which is to combat the ecumenist idea that baptism is baptism anywhere, everywhere, and no matter what. In fact, in the Novus Ordo yourself, your own church has so-called priests baptizing people in the land and the sea and the air. Nobody would accept that as a baptism. And so that's why at a local level, Orthodox churches are saying, look, that can't be accepted. But in other cases where, for example, let's say somebody was received into the Uniate side of Roman Catholicism and they're baptized by immersion, or a Coptic person that becomes Orthodox from the Coptic church who was baptized by immersion, the Orthodox church can say this case is different from that Novus Ordo case because they had the form correct, but they didn't receive the necessarily the grace of the sacrament. So the grace is in the Orthodox Church. It's not outside that. There are graces outside the church to bring people to the church, but your assumption is that there must be one way for all converts to be received for it to be the true church. And it's just simply not true. And that's why in the early church, you can look and see, even Athanasius says, there's no Eucharist outside the bounds of the Orthodox Church. And when Roman Catholics hear that, they think, oh, it's Athanasius. I mean, you guys would think he's a Donatist. But it's more nuanced than that, because it's not even Donatism. Donatists said that the sacraments are validated by the sins of the minister. What we're saying is that mere apostolic succession doesn't get you anything. And so if you depart from the faith, it really doesn't matter what costumes you're putting on. It doesn't matter whether you had the correct ritual and the hands laid on you perfectly. If you leave the church, none of that matters anymore. Now, if a person in those groups is received in the right way, and then the bishops of the Orthodox Church say, we will receive that person through chrismation because the rite was done correctly, there's no need to redo the rite. The grace then makes up for what was lacking. And I've never heard any Orthodox person, even the people who are strict, who deny or doubt that if there was something done improperly, the grace of the Orthodox Church makes up for what was lacking. That's pretty well known and understood.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. That's kind of my last question, and I appreciate it again.
Yeah. No, those are good questions.
Yeah. You encounter someone from an Oriental Orthodox parish church. Do you have any impetus to express to them, hey, I think you should receive the grace of baptism in this sacrament at my local parish?
I don't make that call. If that person wants to abjure their heresies and come into the Orthodox Church, then the Orthodox clergy, the episcopacy, is supposed to make that call based on their case.
Okay.
Now, not every Orthodox bishop follows that. But nobody's going to prove or disprove which church is true on the basis of whether individual bishops are faithful or not. Because the Roman Catholic Church is way fuller of unfaithful bishops than the Orthodox Church.
Cool. All right. Appreciate it. I'll keep thinking about it and listening to you.
Yeah, great questions. Father Deacon, did you want to say something?